Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Tonight we're going to talk about how to use our mouse buttons to actually do something intelligent in, for instance, IntelliJ or whatever integrated development environment that you have. Because if you're a developer, then you're probably also a gamer. So you probably have one of these gamer mice right here. So with a lot of weird buttons on the side. So you have all of these buttons, and they are placed actually very, very close to. They're placed very, very smart actually. They're placed very intelligently, so they're fast and easy to access because they're meant for first-person shooter or strategy games where you have to be fast. So they actually they are quite nice, and they're placed and there they are. So why not use them when you're programming also? And that's exactly what I have done right now. So I've mapped my mouse buttons right here, so they actually do something smart. So first of all, what should you use your mouse buttons for? Most of the times in your IDE, then you're actually navigating to other files. That is what you spend the most time on. Actually, of course, you also type a little bit your programming also, but you have to find some files, and then you have to add something somewhere. So navigation is extremely important, and that is what you are doing a lot of the time. You're looking for the right file. So I have a mouse button right here. This is mouse button 4 that I have right here. So when I press that, then I go to my recent files. Of course, I could also press Control E on my keyboard, then I also get the recent files right here. And you can also see here where I place a cursor. Then you can there you can see that the shortcut key if you want to use that instead. So what this gives us the last used files, and then we can jump there. We can also jump to something like our runs. If we want to run something, we can run to go to our services. So this is very, very convenient to have that there. I like to have that option right there. So to go to recent files with button 4. Or you can also use button 5, of course. Just next to button 4, I have button 5. And button 5, mouse button 5, if I press that one right now, then I can run something. Because a lot of times we want to run some unit test. We want to see the result of the code that we actually did. So we have navigation, and we have and we have running stuff. That is usually what that is usually where what I have to do a lot at least. So if I press, no matter where I stand, so if I stand out here, then I can run my application. I can also choose my tests; those are up here. So that is pretty cool. I will show an example of this in just a minute right here. We can actually let us run the alien mapper test if I want. Then I just press that, and then now the alien mapper test is running. And this is a Kotlin project just to make it a bit more fun. And of course they failed, but that is not that is not because of my mouse buttons. That is because I have two two implementations of an interface on the default profile. So I could go fix that, but let us just see right here. We have a Nerf gun, and we have the conditional property weapon having value, and then we have having value laser. And I know that I have not added these to my default properties file, so let us actually just do that. So in production, I'll just copy this, or actually test. I'll take it from test. So I'll just add this one right here. It's because I made another video on conditional classes. So whenever you have something special in your properties files, then you can actually have classes being loaded into your Spring context depending on that. So you see now it's green. Now my mapper test is actually fine. So okay, so I have latest files on button 4, run something on button 5. Then if I hold, usually I would actually use another mouse where I have many more buttons. But in this case, I only have 2 extra buttons, and I also have the middle button, of course. So I am simulating that I'm using the other mouse by now pressing Control. So now I'll hold Control, and I press button 4. And then I go to classes. So now I can look for classes. Now I can look for my Nerf gun, for instance. Then I can find the Nerf gun class. And here we have the Nerf gun class right here. So Control, button 4, and then I find then I can go for classes right here. Control, button 5, then I can find my files. That could be my application properties file, for instance, if I want to go and change something into that. So Control, button 5, then I'm in there, Control, button 4, then I'll end up right here. Then I'll end up with looking for classes. And again, if you have a real gamer mouse, then you would have then you would at least have 4 extra buttons. Right now, I only have 2 extra gamer buttons on this mouse right here. So okay, what about the middle button, right? The middle button. Per default, if you have not done anything, then it's usually meant for pasting stuff that you have in your clipboard. I do not use that often, so I have actually changed that to go to the nearest test instead. So if I place my cursor at the spaceship controller, I don't have a test for that. So if I go to the cursor, if I put the cursor in the end of spaceship controller, and I press the middle button, then I can choose to create a new test for that spaceship controller. That's because I've mapped my the middle button to spaceship to testing, to actually to navigate to test. Since there's no test, then I can also choose to create a test. That is really awesome, and it's really good. I can just check off which methods I want to, or in this case functions. We are dealing with the Kotlin, and then I can choose testing library. Right now, just leave it to JUnit 5. I'll probably change it to a Spring Boot test anyway. So here we have our tests. So I'll go here and I'll say at Spring Boot tests, because we want to deal with a spaceship controller. This is how to make a default. Constructor spaceship controller like this. And this is because I'm a Java developer, so then I have this nasty habit of actually putting the type before the name of the variable. It's a member variable, and now I can use this right here. So then we can say spaceship controller dot shoot, and shoot returns a string. So of course I'll do some assertions. A test is not a test without doing some assertion. I use assert j just because it looks cooler. So here we have assert that the result from the spaceship controller shoot is equal to. I don't remember what the value is, so I'll just type something right now. Now I can press run, because now I also have the run, so I'll just place the cursor in the end of my function right here. Of course, I could also just press the play button right here, so it's I'm not saving that much, right? So yeah, but this is just to show you. This is just to show you the principles. Of course, you can map your buttons to something else. And in this situation right here, where I want to run my test, then of course it's a bit silly that I have to go and choose the shoot function right here, or else I could just press the play. Then I would not have to say which. Then it would know that this is the function that I need to run. Okay, so now there was actually an error. So that is because what was the problem right here? It says no parameter resolver, blah, blah, blah. Well, it should inject that one right there. Let me add auto-wired. Like this. Actually, I think I have to, when it's a test, then I have to rephrase it a bit. Let's probably try again. Okay, now it works. So it should just have auto-wired in front. The only place where you should always have auto-wired is in your tests. You should never have auto-wired in your real code. Then it's because you did something wrong. If you need to do that. Okay. You should use a constructor injection instead, because it's much easier to test. So here we have expected was this blah blah, and the result was actually this string right here. So now I'll take the real string instead, and then I'll paste it in right here, and then we will say rerun. Or I could press my button 5 again if I'm here. Yes, now it's green. I'll press button 5 this time. Shoot. And again, we can do the same with reload. So I'll copy the snippet right here, go to the raw reload test. Then we'll say assert that spaceship controller, and then dot reload like this. And then again, of course, it'll fail first time, because when reloading, we'll probably get another string back. So, but of course, if you're not using the mouse buttons today, of course, you're still probably a happy developer, and you're probably still efficient, but you will just be a little bit more happy is my guess. If you also start using your, the mouse buttons, also the mouse shortcuts, or at least make a strategy for your shortcut keys and your mouse. As long as you actually think about what you're doing and you actually have an actual strategy instead of just using defaults, then I would say you'll be much more efficient, because then you would, first of all, it shows that you know your IDE, and that this does not matter which IDE you're using. If you're using another IDE, then of course you should also know how that works, right? Okay, so how do we set all of these mouse buttons right here? If you want to set them to something else, I'll press Ctrl-Alt-S for settings. Then I go to my key map right here, and let me go to classes, and here you could probably see one of them. If I go to Java classes, or here we have it, go to class, and it's actually button 5 click right here. Button 5 click, and Control plus button 5 click right here. And what was the go to test? So usually you do not want to map something very important to, or something that changes a lot to your mouse button. You don't want to revert a git commit or something like that on your mouse buttons, because you will press these buttons by mistake. So it should not be something that will do something that you did not want to, or that it takes too long to actually undo. So here I have go to is some a lot of good. Here we have got a lot of good examples of what we could actually map our buttons to. So we have a go to test. This is where I have my middle button right now, middle click. You can also go to references. That was also one I was actually thinking about. Instead of having the run shortcut, then I would have the go to reference, or go to implementation, or something like that. Go to usages. That's actually the one. Control click, Control B, go to declaration or usages. This one is also good to map to your mouse buttons. Yeah. Which ones are also good to go to? So, but those are actually the ones that I would. You could also have new class actually. New class sometimes could also be good. So if you say new class, I think I have Control J or something like that. Yeah, Control J, but that's for Java classes. For Kotlin classes, I don't have any shortcut right now for that. What if I say Control K? Is that used? Yeah, that is used for commit, and then we could push afterwards. So what should we use? Something next to J, or Control Shift J. Join lines. I'm never using that. So if it's something that you're never using, like join lines in editor actions. Okay, let me just try to see what actually happens if I want to join lines first before I change this. So I will, just for fun, I'll mark these, Control Shift J. Okay, then it goes up in the same line. That could actually be useful. I should actually start using that if I don't like the formatting like this. I always press delete like this. Then instead I could actually just mark these lines and press Control Shift J. Okay, I will not steal that. I'll actually start using that one now. So what was it? So we had go to, and then we had this. Also go to errors. Yeah, this one right here, next highlighted error. That's also a good one to actually. Actually, instead of running stuff, I also like to run stuff. Next highlighted error, that's actually pretty good also. If you have any errors in your project, then you just go to the file, and then you can just press F2, and then you jump between each of the errors in your file. It's very useful. I've made another video about this, the next highlighted error in F2. I think it's called F2 is your friend or something like that. I think actually I'm happy for now. But if you find yourself doing something a lot and very often, and where it could make sense that you use your mouse buttons, the extra buttons, then of course go and change the settings. It does not take long, and then you'll be happy afterwards. So that's actually it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you will go and set your mouse buttons as soon as you've scrolled on to my next video, of course. Thank you very much for all of the nice comments that you place in the comment field, and have a great evening. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.